welcome to Community Insight. I am your host, Reverend Dr. Rodney Coles, always bringing information to our community, what's happening, what's going on. So please grab your pen and paper to write the information down. Today we have another special guest. I'm very excited about this person who's with us today and information you're going to receive that you never heard before. And this is Miss Valerie Walker. She is with Christian. She's actually with Transformation Christian Ministry. Miss Walker, welcome to the broadcast.
Well, thank you, Dr. Cole. I'm so excited to be here with you and just to talk about transforming Christian ministries.
Well, I'm going to start off. I'm going to dive right in it. You know, I met you. It seems like I knew you longer, but the work that you have been doing with this ministry, I'm going to let you go first to the back history of it, but I want to say to you, thank you for what you've been doing, the work you have been doing, how you outspeak and what needs to be done with this ministry here. And I know that it's a history bias, so I'm going to give the history, then I'm going to dive again.
Okay. So I am honored to be the vice chair Transforming Christian Ministry. The late Dr. Sidney Locks, he started this ministry back in 1999 during Hurricane Floyd. Hurricane Floyd hit Pitt County pretty hard, and there was a lot of needs out there, and so he himself developed this ministry to help people in need from the flood, and so he helped people get back to their normal lives. And from there, it just grew. We developed three others section on the Transforming Christian Ministry. One is Healthy Lives, Healthy Choices, which is a passion of mine because it's about keeping our community members healthy. And we also have the spiritual piece and then the economic piece. So I am the director of Healthy Lives, Healthy Choices, which is a group of lay health advisors that go out and do health screenings. We do health awareness. We work with our congregation and anyone in the community trying to teach people how to live a healthy life. And that is our passion. That is what we want to do. And we are just a resource there for you.
And I just want to add also, the work that you have been doing is, like I said, Sidney Locke is I call him the Godfather. I mean, he have done so many great things here in our community. And to put that together, to me, was just a blessing, even though he went on home. But he left a deposit for the next generation. And I want to share, I went to one of your workshops, and I was blowing away. Explain to us what the workshop is about.
Okay, so anytime we do a public event, it is a specific focus. In February, I believe is the one that you attended. It was Heart Month. It's usually Go Red, and they focus on women, but we have a tendency to focus on everyone's heart. And so we had different stations set up to talk about how to keep your heart healthy. We also have screenings. Because, you need to know what your numbers are. I tell anyone, when you go to a physician or a doctor or the hospital, don't just let them say your numbers are normal. You need to know exactly what those numbers are, because if those numbers start trending upward or downward, you need to know what that means for you and your health. So we always check blood pressure, cholesterol. Sometimes we have the A1C team there. Your height and weight, and try to coach you on based on those numbers. If those numbers are way up, like if somebody come to me and I check their blood pressure, it's 200 something, I am not going to let them leave that site until it either comes down or I send them to an urgent care or to an emergency room. Because when you have an elevated blood pressure, that means you are a walking time bomb for a stroke. So, or other things that happen. It could be affecting your kidneys. So we do look at your numbers. We follow up to make sure you're getting the help you need. And if you don't have health care, we facilitate you getting with someone to take care of you. So.
Now, when you look at the healthcare, a lot of times we bypass how important our healthcare needs to be, and not knowing our weight, not knowing that our blood pressure, and you're right there, atomic bomb. And I want to say that mommy being there and just seeing the work that you guys do. I mean, I was throwing back. I was like, wow, you did. You had you had about at least approximately maybe 16 or more people there that was in each area you go, and it's free of charge, and you are connected with so many people. I also want to thank your pastor, who's over leading this, Pastor Barry, and knowing him and just what he does, his heart. But you had Pastor Richard Joyner, and they help, and you had so many churches, and then the folks who was actually doing the blood pressure, the weight, and different things was going on. And I'm going to admit something on the air here. My wife always says to me, my daughters ask me to get on the scale. And I'm not getting on the scale. And you also keep everything confidence. I love that, Yeah. And, I felt comfortable taking off my shoes and getting on the scale there because I know that, what? I done put on some pounds here, Some people, but I also know that it's also affecting my health, and that's another area. So, and sometimes when things start to happen, that's when we get more involved in our own physical body. And I realize we're doing something with men's, and I'm gonna speak out for myself as a male. We don't really try to take care of ourselves better than we need to. When time a man gets to the hospital, he's already a blown up bomb, or he already got stage 4 cancer. His diabetes out of whack. And it's important for us, and that's one of the things that we is incorporate with the Father and Men's this year is having a men conference dealing with health and having a mobile out there to do screenings before we have a presentation. But I just want to say that is so important for us to look at our health. Now I'm going to say this as well. I know we're on television. That hospitals and different places so far away, they're shutting down different areas. So it's really for those people at your church to help the people.
Exactly.
To see where they at. And one thing you said, listen, if your blood pressure, even you jumped on your own pastor. Listen, if your blood pressure is high, you going to the hospital, it's shutting everything down.
Yes.
Because it's important.
It is. And we have to take care of each other. And that's what we all about, Some people can't get to Greenville to go to the hospital. So we are an organization that is nonprofit. None of us get paid for the work we do. Our payment is that you take care of yourself. When you come to these health fairs and you get some numbers and we tell you what you need to do, we want you to go back and do it. And we want you to share what we give to you. We don't want you to keep it for yourself. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it's going to take a village and then some to keep all of us healthy, because we as African Americans tend to ignore what our bodies say to us. We say, oh, it's going to get better, and then when you finally realize you need to go see a doctor, it's too late. So I want to change that pattern. That is my passion. Change that pattern. I don't care if you go to the doctor and the doctor say you're okay. Fine. You realize you're okay. It's not anything serious. So what did you waste? You didn't waste your money because you found out how you were doing. But then again, you may go to the doctor and they catch something early and they can fix it. But if you wait too late and there's no turning around, it's nothing we can do. It's in charge of the man upstairs. And actually, he's in charge throughout your process.
Come on now.
With your health. But, the doctor's just here. But the Lord wants you to use some common sense in taking care of yourself. So it is very important for everyone to listen to their body. And if they don't know how to navigate, we have lots of health advisors out there that are willing to help you. I'm always available. It might be a little hard to catch me, but you leave a message, I always get back with you, So even I have to have a coach. I love to work out. I can do cardio, but when it comes to toning and lifting weights, I have to have a personal trainer to get me to lift those weights. Most people say I'm not big, but if you look at me from my younger years and my senior years now, I have gained some weight. We all gain weight. That's normal, but you just have to remember to keep it down because when you have too much weight, it's not good for your heart.
And I'm also going to speak about you on your heart is so passionate with this. When the person's heart is so passionate with it, they put more into it. They put so much in it. It's almost like a person making that sweet potato pie, that carrot cake.
Yeah, Lord.
They're right at the right things to say in the health thing, right? But they have so much passion in it, and then it's just it continue of moving in such a way in how you touch. There's one pastor, I won't call his name out, but I tell you, he spoke about you, and he knows, you know who I'm talking about, Pastor, you know what I'm talking about, and how he was a diabetic, and how he came to you, and how you narrated all that. He lost so much weight, and he's doing much better, and that's, I guess, the whole key thing. We all need coaches, and we need people to walk with us and help us through. You can't do it by yourself.
No.
And you think you do it by yourself, you already messed up right there. It's the same as, I'm going to add this, it's the same with business. You cannot have a business just doing it all by yourself.
No,
you need to have partners. And there's so many people out here, Ms. Walker, as we know, that may try to do the health thing, and they say, and I'm going to say this on air, it's all about collaboration, working together, coming together what you have. We all in this together working on the health. So why somebody want to do something differently and they don't have the experience, and where you already been doing it, is a seed been planted already, it had been seen over and over. You done went to your trials in your errors to get it right.
Yes, we
You know
have.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's the beautiful thing that you guys do. And I just gonna brief we do with No Excuse Healthy Living is really help with marketing in the areas that we can help with. And I'm so glad to partner with you, with the coaches that we working with, is being a part of what y'all guys are doing, because it's all about networking and connecting. You already have it. I say you need an engine and a transmission to move the vehicle.
Exactly.
You already the engine. We're gonna help shift the gears. If anything that you need, somebody looking at if they have their own ministry in health, and they say, "Oh, how do I get involved? How do I get my church involved? How do we start it? And then where do we go from here?" You're right. We need to do something with our churches. We need to do something. My pastor eating too much fried chicken. How do we work on that? And all that sweet tea.
Exactly. So, if you want to join Healthy Lives, Healthy Choices, I would first say have a conversation with your pastor in developing a health ministry or a health auxiliary at your church, because one person cannot do it alone. I am grateful and honored that my pastor, I went to him with a proposal because we didn't have a health ministry at our church. I tried for several years with past pastors and they weren't interested. But I wrote up my proposal and I gave it to my Pastor Barry Hill, and I gave it to him, and he supports anything that the health ministry does, and so much that he give us a budget. The church gives us a budget to do our health ministry programs, and I'm grateful for that, because we were able to get exercise equipment for people to work out on, have an exercise instructor. We have a health ministry anniversary in July, so he's very supportive. The other thing you need your pastor support with is, if you're going to be a healthy church, things have to change. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I would tell you, that my church members hate to see me come, but we finally got policies that if we serve a meal, it is a healthy meal. We no longer serve any sweet tea, Kool-Aid, sodas at our meals. It's all water. Now, you can add Crystal Light and anything like that to your water, but we are strictly on waters. The only exception to that policy is Family and Friends Day. We do have all the good foods for Family and Friends Day, but otherwise we do a healthy meal. So I would say just talk to your pastor, get the church support, and start in a health ministry. And to join Healthy Lives, Healthy Choices, it's free. Just let me know, and I will put you on the list, and I can bring you in. You do need one person that would attend the meeting every month to look at what we are focusing on and getting that information out to your congregation, because we do work. We have about 18 churches with us now, and the health advisors will tell you they work hard, and they love what they do, and they're very passionate. They just like me. They want everybody to be healthy, and that's the key. It's not about you being out there alone. We will help you get your program set up, but it is the main key is teaching everybody to be healthy.
And I'm gonna tell you, you talked about food, and food, they think it's expensive, Miss Walker, but it's not that expensive when you look at it. Even on fast food, I hope that I'm not overstepping here by calling out a restaurant right now, but I met up with a gentleman named Scott. Tom Kulikowski connected me with him. We had lunch with him. It's called Clean Eating, and I'm gonna take my wife there because you believe it, I'm gonna confess. I had got me a Big Mac one day, and the Big Mac was $9 and something, whatever it is. Yes, I had a Big Mac, large fries. Yeah, but I've been good now. I've been good, but that's before then. But I went to Scott. I went to the called Clean and Eating, and the food was cheaper there and more healthier. And it is not even if you're going to do a takeout. And then it's not that expensive to cook in your house on brown rice and the stuff you have, and they have quick recipes that is healthy for us to eat, and it's not that expensive to eat healthy. The only thing will stop you is of laziness to eat healthy. That when you eat healthy, your whole system enjoys it.
Exactly. Food is medicine, and if you've heard about Reverend Joyner and Kanita, he is raising farms and stuff to make sure that we eat fresh produce. And that's what we need to do. We need to get away from the fast foods and buying things that's already prepared, things out of can that's preserved, because that's hurting your body. We really need to go back to having our gardens and getting our vegetables and fruits and things out of our own gardens, so that we can live a healthy life. So food is medicine. I tell everyone, everything we teach is nothing new to anybody. It's eating the right foods, getting up and exercising, and praying to the Lord. Those are three things you need in your daily life: is some exercise and eating the right foods. And you do need to eat 3 meals a day, but you don't need to overeat. There's something else we have a tendency, we don't watch our portion size. So it's very simple things that can keep you healthy. You just have to make up your mind that you want to live a healthy life and that you want to do it. I can tell you what to do to take care of yourself, but until you figure out that reason why you need to take care of yourself, things are not going to change. But just know there are lots of people out there that want to help you, and you don't have to pay them a dime, because we are generally concerned about your health. I'm passionate about it. I've lost a 8-month-old niece, a 4-year-old niece. One of my brothers, 59 years old, he passed with a massive heart attack in his sleep. My aunt, who was a nurse, knew better, had cancer, had surgery. They said they got it all, but she didn't want to do chemo. And I worked hard on her to convince her to work chemo, but a few years later it came back and it was too. And so now she's gone. My father had a stroke, and he also passed with a massive heart attack in his sleep. So, but my father lived a good, long life, 88. He was 88. But the rest of them was premature. I feel like it was premature death, mainly because, the 2 younger ones, that's a whole nother story. But my 2 brothers, they could have lived a longer life if they had just listened to their body. So I'm passionate. I'm very passionate. So I have a strong history of heart disease in my family. So that's the other thing you need to know is what kind of diseases run in your family, because you are prone to that same disease. And so you need to do everything you can to take care of yourself. So, I do work out. I do backslide because I love potato chips. And but I do try to eat the healthiest potato chip I can find, which is anything with the small ingredients. The smaller the ingredients are, the healthier the food is. Okay. So, the next time you pick up a bag of potato chips and you see one with only 2 ingredients and then one with 5 ingredients, choose the one with the 2 ingredients, because that's healthier for you.
You just said a whole lot with it when we're not eating healthy and we could do better, and we choose not to do better. And I'm going to say is a trick of Satan is that fish line that you could be doing so many great works in the community or whatever you're doing and whatever you're doing at your home, but is your health would decrease if you're not doing what is right, because we all from the ground, and the key thing is putting the right type of food in our body, and medicine is healing. I'm going back. My daughter doesn't like onions, but my grandma always cut up some fried onions and add some garlic, fresh garlic, and for headaches she used ginger and scrape it and boil it, and we drank it, and these are the things that kept them going, because we have some seniors 90 years old, and they do more work than the ones who's in their 20s.
Exactly.
Especially out there in Bethel, there's some working senior citizens up there.
Yes.
And they all over. Even that First Presbyterian Church, they got more of the seniors that do more of the work. But it's right back in us eating healthy, and it's knowing that our family here, and looking on the root of the family. Understand that's the first thing the doctor asks you. He goes down to the root of the family is your mother or your father, who, and blah, blah, blah. And to realize that these things is in your bloodline. If you know you got diabetic, if your family died from that, or cancer, remember, is in somewhere is in a line that we got to, it's all about trying to prevent it.
Exactly.
Than waiting until it's too late. And it's done. Exactly. And I want to share this with you. I know we don't have much time left, but one of the things, when I went to your meeting the other day, and you had a meeting with the pastor churches there, their compassion, it did something to me. I'm like when I see the Spirit moves, I made a phone call all the way home talking about it. And I said, God, what are you doing here? I understand, but the compassion they had and how you put everything together, how you line everything up, you are definite, I'm going to say this, call for that. I do believe that in my life that God allowed people to set things up, and I'm going to put it this way. We never finish it. God may allow us to start it, but he passed it on. Sidney Locke is a good man, great man, many things he have done in this community. To me, he's a legend. There's a legend like him, and there's a legend like who's still here, Mr. Blunt, Daniel Blunt, who does photography. There's so many different legends in this community. And what he left was a deposit, and how God allowed you to take it to another level. And then somebody else coming after you that's going to take it to a new level. And I want to just give you your flowers to say thank you, because this is something that maybe he may pick the part of the vision, but how does they have one more, and what the folks you had that was there, they understood it, they had a report, you had everything laid out for them, you so passionate with it. Listen, the Bible says you can have all the faith in the world, but you don't have love, you're nothing. And that's what I saw at your meeting.
Yes, I do love the people here in Pitt County, and it is a passion of mine. I am a nurse by trade, so it's ingrained in me because I am a nurse. But again, I am just passionate because I've seen so much come through the hospital, and I know that we can live a better life, and people just need help, and we are here to help. And I am grateful for every one of our health advisors that is in Healthy Lives, Healthy Choices, because if it wasn't for them, my vision could not be carried on. And, and if it wasn't for my pastor, Pastor Barry Hill, Dr. Sidney Locke's vision could not be carried on, because we did not know who was going to pick this up and run with it. And my pastor has supported me with my health ministry at church and with this Healthy Lives, Healthy Choices. So I am so grateful and honored to have the position, and I don't take it lightly. I do not take it lightly. So
Wow.
I have to coach myself to get some rest because that's important to have too. But because sometimes I'm up nonstop and I get up early.
Well, so as you have heard how important it is in your health, you have heard Miss Valerie Walker speaks about the work that she's doing. I know there's churches, there's groups, there's people watching this broadcast going through a lot. Support what she's doing. Support the ministry. We will see you at our next broadcast. God bless, and we love you.